Hi everyone, my name is Jay Ruby. I'm a senior in Biosystems Engineering. Welcome to Corley Building, the home of Biosystems Engineering. All right, so this is the main floor of Corley Building, the home of all of our professors' offices and some collaborative study spaces as well. This is where some students will study or some will eat their lunch. All of our professors here have an open door policy, which basically means if their door is open, you can just walk in. Our professors also always hold office hours, so you can walk in during those times as well. But sometimes you're studying down here and you just have a quick question and you just pop in and ask them, and they're always happy to help. This is one of our bulletin boards, which has some job postings, some clubs, and things that you can get involved with on Auburn's campus. Also, it normally has a message from our advisors, wise words of wisdom from Jenna. This is the third floor of Corley, home of our classrooms, our computer lab, and our student design studio. This is Corley Room 302, the smaller of our two classrooms. Outside each classroom is also a class schedule of the semester, which shows when classes are in session, so that you're never worried about walking in while a class is going on. This is our student design studio, mainly used by our seniors during their senior design course. I've definitely had a lot of late night studying in here with my friends. And during October, close to Halloween, our awesome accountant, Mr. Rich, actually put a bowl of candy out every single week for us to munch on during our studies. Senior design projects are real-life problems that the students have to solve in order to graduate. One example is the Auburn Garden of Memories. Biosystems seniors worked on pond restoration and wetland design for this garden dedicated to Auburn students, staff, faculty, administration, and fallen soldiers, which is a really great segue into real-life problems that we're going to have to solve in our careers. These are the lockers that are completely free for students to use. You just set a code and then you can come retrieve your stuff. I think that the majority of them actually hold pants because we have to have long pants and closed-toed shoes for most of our labs. And during those hot summer months in Auburn, it's definitely nice to just grab them and then head down to your lab. This is the larger of our two classrooms. Before COVID, this classroom actually held up to 60 students. There's TVs facing every direction, so no matter which direction that you're sitting in, you can see whatever the professor is projecting on the screen. Also, when there's not classes going on, a lot of students use these TVs to project different PowerPoints or practice for presentations or whatever they need to do to aid in their studying. Like I said, this classroom holds up to 60 students, which is definitely the largest Biosystems class that you're going to have. We definitely like to keep our classes relatively small, which really fosters a nice, close-knit community among the Biosystems students. The front of the Corley building, as well as the computer lab, has swipe card access. So during normal office hours, it is completely open for all students to use. And on the weekends and after 5 p.m., it's only open for swipe card use, which means that you have to use your Tiger card to get into this classroom. This makes for a very secure location to study late at night and also allows only Biosystems students to use these computers. So there's always a big debate in engineering on Mac versus PC, but we always like to say that it doesn't really matter because the majority of the students use the computers in the computer lab anyway. I know I like to do it because it has a lot bigger screen, even though I have a PC that's compatible with a lot of the programming and programming languages that we use in engineering. It's also a really great opportunity to study with your friends while having your computer right there. During senior design and during a lot of other classes, we not only learn about engineering skills, we also learn soft skills. Part of being an engineer is learning how to communicate. You could be the best engineer in the room, but if you can't communicate that, then your designs might get lost. So we learn how to speak, give presentations, and also communicate with our team members in order to get the work done. We've now come into the Corley Courtyard, which is actually a senior design project that came to fruition. Behind me, you can see some bioretention cells, which store water as it filters it, which basically reduces our stormwater runoff when we have a heavy rain event. The Corley Courtyard is a great place to eat or study and just get outside during those warmer months. This is the Biosystems Engineering, Technology, and Design Center. This lab has the ability to design and fabricate ideas for students, grad students, and faculty. I've used this lab to 3D print things as well as take apart an engine. This is the main lobby of Burl, where most of our research and our labs take place. As you can see, we also have a piano. We're the only engineering department on Auburn's campus that has a piano, and a lot of our students actually like to play. This is the Biomaterials Processing and Conversion Lab. In this lab, they're researching sustainable ways to use and reuse materials. One of the ways they're doing this is by converting woody materials into a usable fuel. This is the Biomaterials Characterization Lab. It's a multi-purpose lab focused on independent student work. As you can see, there's multiple 3D printers behind me. During different labs in the BSyn curriculum, students will actually be designing something on CAD or in Fusion 360 and printing it and then troubleshooting it from there. This is a great way for students to learn through trial and error. You design something, it doesn't work, and then you redesign it to be better. This is the Chemical Analysis Lab. In this lab, they take materials that they want to know the composition of and they find it out in here. This is the Biological Systems Lab. One of the projects done in here is to create a closed ecosystem using real crabs and real plants. Thank you for joining us today on a tour of the Biosystems department. We hope to see you around Corley in the future. War Eagle.